We are going to move on to a more serious topic, and this one is more of the legal nature. I just came across this today, and I do feel like it's important that you're aware of this, because even though you might at first glance think, hey, this won't affect me, this is a very niche thing, we're going to talk about why this could have a wider ripple effect on not only the embroidery community, but also sewing and quilting, because I want to do a little bit more digging into this whole saga, because I'm like, what the heck is going on? All right, so I came across another YouTube creator and someone else that does embroidery videos named Sean. And believe it or not, the YouTube algorithm actually pushed this up to me, and I'm glad it did, because I think this is a very kind of a crazy story. All right, so let me pull this up, and we're going to react to this, and also I'm gonna bring up some other resources. Also, everything I've talked about during this show, you can find links to the sources in the description box. I wanted to make those available for everyone, so if you want to read about it on your own or check these links out on your own, you can. All right, so I want to react to this video. This is done by a YouTube creator from the channel All Things Sean. All Things Sean. And by the way, thank you, Sean. I've talked to her a little bit today, and we're going to be talking more because I want to learn more about this situation and see what the legal implications are. Okay. So her video is titled No More Embroidery Embossed Designs.
Hey there. So you guys, I wanted to do a quick video just to give a heads up to other crafters, business owners, content creators, and whatnot.
And by the way, thank you. Sean is in the chat right now. Thank you, Sean, for joining us live. I just saw this, and I just could not believe this was happening. And this could have easily happened to me as well, and it just by chance didn't, but it really could have. All right, so we're going to keep watching here.
That we cannot create any content or sell any items using the embossed embroidery look. So I received an email regarding a infringement of utility patent. Here's the email right here. It goes on to say that this person is the owner of the patent. The patent number is 103-27486. And after research, I was able to pull up the patent from the USPTO, and it is for a 3-dimensional applique effect. And the date of the patent is June 25th, 2019. So here's the document that I pulled directly from the USPTO. It's about 15 pages or so. And I just wanted to let you all know that this particular individual is reaching out to YouTubers to remove any type of content that you have showing how to create the embroidery embossed look. So if you don't remove the videos within a couple days, then they're going to proceed to get your content flagged and removed that way, which could also hurt your channel. I'm pretty sure they're doing this on other platforms as well, but I wanted to let my fellow crafters, content creators, business owners that may be selling these designs, maybe selling the fonts, maybe teaching people how to do this design, that you'll want to stop and remove those videos. This person is going hard after YouTubers right now. And so I just went ahead and removed my content on this platform and other platforms, because at this point it is really just a trend. So it's nothing that I feel like I want to give her my money for a license to be able to do embossed embroidery. It's not that serious. I did email her back, and she responded to my email. She asked if, she did say she was sending notifications to many YouTube channels, as well as getting videos flagged if the videos don't come down. and even had the nerve to ask me if I wanted to provide a list of others infringing upon her patent. No, ma'am, I don't work for you. Do your own legwork. Anywho, she goes on to talk about she's a business owner and how long she's been in embroidery, yada, yada, yada. And that the only way you can keep those videos up and keep creating that content is if you pay her money for the license. So I'm not going to do that. So I just wanted to let you guys know. I know I said I was going to be doing a tutorial on how to create the embossed look in Hatch, digitizing it. So I won't be able to do that tutorial. And then my videos have been removed. So if you go look for them, they're not going to be there anymore. I only had 2 videos, so no harm, no foul. But anyways, just a heads up, other content creators, you might want to go ahead and private those videos, delete them, do whatever you please with them, but just make sure they're not showing up on your socials, because this person is kind of wilding out and going after all of us. So now, and rightfully so, she has a patent, but you know, at the same time, it's just like, okay, just doing a tutorial, something I would think wouldn't hurt, but obviously, you know, she put time, money, and effort into getting the patent, so I've just gone ahead and removed mine. If you guys have any questions, let me know below in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Bye.
All right, so there's a lot to unpack here. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Sean she gave me permission to react to her video. I saw that and I was like, I didn't even realize like this could be a thing where someone that has a patent on a certain process or like a technique basically could go after content creators. Like that's where I was like, what the heck? Now you all know I've done a lot of videos about here, and I'll show Sean's channel. So Sean has a small embroidery business, and she also makes videos. By the way, her channel is really good. So if you want to learn about embroidery, she's done a lot of really good tutorials and like how-to videos. I know a lot of you who watch me also like embroidery tutorials, so check out her channel, subscribe. Let's get her to the 10,000 subscriber mark. Let's help. You know, let's help a sister out here. And I also love her. I'm actually going to check out some of her videos because it looks like she has she has like a brother as well. So she creates content about embroidery techniques and projects. And she also has an embroidery business selling embroidered items to people. And she has like a Racoma. She's got like some brothers. So she had done a tutorial video or a video about doing a project on this embossed embroidery technique. Now I had kind of seen this before, like that look before. I didn't really know the name of it. I've seen videos, like I've watched a lot of embroidery videos myself, and I kind of had noticed that. I guess it's kind of a trendy thing, but here I'll show you guys what embossed embroidery is, because I was like, what the heck? Okay, so here's kind of what Sean is talking about in this patent the person who has the patent is talking about here. So there is this technique where a lot of people are using that 3D puff foam. You can do it to get like raised, so it kind of gives like a 3D look to your stitches. But people have started doing it to the back, on the back of fabrics. So this is basic, like, notice the Racoma one's still up. I don't know who this person is hitting up to get them removed. Embroidery Library, so this one's a little bit different. They use like, and I actually have purchased designs of this style, and I'm kind of like, I could have been one of the people this person's targeting. I just happen to not have done a video about embossed embroidery. Obviously, I'm showing up here because it's in my description here. And Sean's video is showing up. So it's kind of like this, where you kind of put like kind of like a puff, like a, like foam or some sort of batting underneath your main fabric, so that when you do like a stitching around it, it gives it kind of like a raised effect, but it's sort of like built into the fabric. So it's kind of called embossed embroidery. and it's like a technique. But if you know, like, here's another example. And I've actually purchased designs from this Appliques Embroidery Designs, and I've talked to them a little bit on Instagram. They have a lot of videos and designs as well, featuring that type of look where you do it from like the back or whatever, and it gives it like a raised look within the, so it's not exactly like, it's not exactly like a traditional applique. You're coming from from the back side. But here's the thing. If you look at this, doesn't it kind of look like, it looks like quilting. Like imagine if you just did this like with a quilt, like a whole cloth quilt, you would get kind of similar look. Is the person who holds the patent, would they come after quilters who are doing something that looks like that? I don't even know. But this seems to be kind of, I don't know, to me this seems like kind of a common thing. It's like if somebody could patent a quilt block or a specific quilting technique, that's fairly common. Like these videos are all over the place. This is definitely not a new thing. It's also trapunto. So this is like, no, I don't know. Like, I'm just wondering, it's interesting to me that the U.S. Patent and Trade Office issued a patent for what appears to be like a fairly common technique, or that, it's not like a secret or anything like that. And it is also kind of strange to me that the person who owns the patent is coming after content creators. So it's not just people who are selling designs or selling finished items with this technique, but they're also trying to use the YouTube reporting system to flag videos or any, I guess they're going after people on Etsy, TikTok, and whatever to try to get content. So people aren't even allowed to make content where they're doing that. Like that's, I don't know. Like I'm definitely going to be looking more into this because I do think this could have again, you might think, hey, this is kind of a one-off thing. What if there's more things like this that we just don't know about? What if there's other obscure patents for processes we use to make things where the patent holder will start coming after people who create content about this? But this is very bizarre to me. Like, this is just very bizarre. And Sean is not the only person that's been targeted. There's another person that left a comment. Here, let me find. There's another person from Creative Appliques that's kind of a small, and I want to talk about, because it seems like the patent holder is targeting specific types of creators and small businesses. They're not really going after, notice they didn't go after, I don't know if they went after Embroidery Library or Ricoma, but Ricoma and Embroidery Library still have their videos up. So I do find this very bizarre. All right, so there's another business, small business called Creative Appliques that also posted that they were contacted by this patent holder. All right, so this says 3D puff embossed embroidery alphabet. So Creative Appliques creates content and sells embroidery designs, and they were selling embossed embroidery like fonts, so you could do it yourself. All right, so they say, it has been brought to my attention that the technique used for creating the 3D puff embossed embroidery alphabets is an infringement of a U.S. patent. The patent details are below if you wish to read it. Though this technique has been used for decades and is not a new technique, I am forced at this time to stop teaching the technique and to remove and stop selling these fonts. I am sorry for any confusion or issues this may cause, but at this time I cannot proceed forward with creating and selling the fonts. I am the sole owner, founder, and designer at Creative Appliques. There are no other employees, just me. Thank you for your continued support and for understanding, Dawn. So here's the thing I've noticed is that from what it looks like to me, they're contacting people that they don't believe has legal resources to fight this. So people like Sean, people like Dawn, people who are small businesses who they think would be kind of low-hanging fruit for compliance that wouldn't have the means for a prolonged legal battle. Hiring a lawyer and going the legal route, if they wanted to fight this in court, would be very time-consuming and very expensive. And it seems like the patent holder knows this, and they are trying to... Oh, and by the way, if you noticed in Sean's video, she said the patent holder wanted them to pay the money to license the right to like make content about this, what seems like pretty basic AF technique. This kind of, again, I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice or anything. This is just my opinion, but this could be construed as sort of a shakedown. Sort of like, like the people, this has happened in other areas. Like there are lawyers that just seek out small business websites and try to shake them down for settlements if they're not like disability, if they're not like ADA compliant. There's all sorts of things like this where, people will just try to kind of target small people, small businesses, people without the resources, and they will go after them and try to just get some cash out of them. So the fact that that they asked Sean to pay the money to license the right to make content about a technique, I do find that a little bizarre. And this is something I would like to speak to an attorney about this to see like what the legal standing is for this type of patent protection. Does patent protection protect people making content about what your patent is about? I don't really know. So I definitely would like to look into this matter further, just because if this is affecting just people who embroider this specific thing, who knows how far this could go. And you saw that technique, it kind of looked like quilting. So could this affect quilters or anyone that has a thing that even looks like that? And I do want to point out, many, like I've seen that type of technique on garments and apparel and accessories everywhere. Like it's very popular. It's even on a recent design of a Coach handbag. So let me show you this. Okay, so check out this Coach bag. I mean, look at this. Is the patent holder going to go after Coach? Coach is clearly doing an embossed embroidery technique on this leather handbag. Is the patent holder going to go after Coach or a very large corporation? It doesn't appear like that. It appears like they're just going after small-time content creators and embroidery businesses who they suspect wouldn't have a legal team. And Coach has a team of attorneys that would be able to go through the legal battle. And the patent holder knows that people like Sean or people like Dawn with Creative Appliques would not have those same resources. So I do think it's interesting that it doesn't appear like, are they sending cease and desist letters to Coach? Sean also said she saw a Ralph Lauren top with that on that. So are they going after, again, look at this is a clear example of embossed embroidery. Because I was like, yeah, I saw one recently and I've seen these all over the place. In fact, if you go on Etsy, you'll see all kinds of stuff. So is this person trying to go after every single Etsy seller? Like, in fact, I actually bought patterns, like embroidery designs just like this for towels, where you can use knockdown stitches and other things to have the towel terry cloth look like a raised pattern, like be raised. I have purchased these designs. I just hadn't gotten around to stitching them out. But I want to know, if I had done a video about that particular design, would I be getting, would the patent holder be trying to go after my videos too? I don't know. But this is kind of scary, and it's very concerning to me as a content creator that people who have patents for how to make something or a certain process or a technique would go after content creators who are, again, I don't even sell things I make. Would they be going after me for just showing people that I'm doing it? I don't know. So this is fairly concerning. And here's the thing. I'm going to try to do if I try to cover this in any real way, it is going to be pretty time consuming. I'm going to have to get a lawyer to provide some legal analysis because I'm not an attorney. And this is not something I can just do really quickly. This is something that's probably going to take weeks or months to really get into, especially since the person who's doing this is obviously very litigious. So I do need to tread very carefully because if they don't like my coverage about this situation, they're probably going to try to come after me too. So I'm going to look into this, and I've talked to Sean a little bit in the DMs. And what's interesting is that she said the patent holder did not contact her through their attorney. They just sent an email from their business email address. So they didn't here. What's interesting is they didn't use a law firm or an attorney to contact Sean. They just emailed them directly on like a personal level. So there were no lawyers involved. So she sent me a screenshot of the email. I'll read you a little bit of this. Thank you, Sean, for sharing this. It says, Dear Sean, hello. This is friendly notice to inform you that I am the owner of the utility patent number for 3D puff effect, embossed, or whatever you want to call it, that you are teaching on your YouTube video on May 8th, 2024. This patent is protected under law, and any unauthorized use, reproduction, or sale of the patented invention constitutes an infringement of my intellectual property rights. I applied for my patent in February of 2015 and spent several years and tens of thousands of dollars to obtain my patent from the United States Patent and Trademark Office. So here's the thing. The person that holds this patent, they applied for the patent in 2015, and they got the patent in 2019. So they have only had the patent for about 5 years. And people have definitely been doing this for longer than that. So they're claiming they were able to get the patent to say that they invented this particular technique, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't know. The other thing I want to say about this is the fact that they're trying to go after YouTubers and content creators and going and using. So YouTube has a system where you can like report videos, or you can flag videos for like copyright infringement or intellectual property infringement. I don't know if patent protection would cover a video. I would have to talk again. I need to talk to some attorneys about this. I don't know about that. But if that is not protected, like if their patent protection does not cover content, then they are actually misusing and abusing the YouTube reporting system, which isn't cool. So I just want to put that out there that if they're doing, like, if this is like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know, and I would need to talk to someone that specializes in IP law. But if patent protection would not cover me making a video where I'm doing the technique, like imagine if I was just doing a video and I just had some video of me doing that particular embossed embroidery. It's crazy that someone could claim that as patent protection. And if they are using the YouTube reporting system to try to take down videos or hurt channels, that's actually they would actually be violating YouTube's terms of service. If this all turns out to be kind of bunk or bogus, I don't know. So I really need to do more research on this and get some more expert opinion than just, me. But I do find this very bizarre. And the reason I wanted to bring this to your attention is that a lot of you watching are in the embroidery community, and you may have created content that would be targeted by this patent holder, and you may be selling things that they may be looking at. So just kind of a heads up that this person is kind of on the rampage, and they are looking to, again, it looks like they're trying to shake down smaller businesses or smaller content creators to try to like license their process, I guess. I don't know. This is kind of nuts, and I just learned about this today, but I am going to be, I have Sean's number, and I'm going to be trying to give her a call and hopefully getting some more information. And if I cover this in a more in-depth way, I need to make sure I'm crossing all my T's and dotting all my I's because there's legal stuff involved. Yeah. So I don't know what to make of this situation yet, but I do find this very bizarre, and I just wanted to kind of give everyone a heads up that this is happening, and I appreciate the content creators who have spoken about this publicly, because this is kind of a big deal. Like, this is a big, like, imagine if you can patent like making a certain quilt block, and then you go after all of the content creators that are making that quilt block, even if it predated your patent. That is kind of bizarro. The patent to me seems pretty vague and kind of broad, and it could apply to a lot of different situations. So this is the patent. I'm not going to show the person's name or anything, but it says abstract methods according to the present disclosure include creating a three-dimensional effect. For example, an applique effect that allows for the effect to be more integrated with the object to which it is added than in conventional methods. These methods can include adding the effect or applique on the surface of an object with, again, I need this broken down into layman's terms, because some of this was a little, hard for me to grasp. These methods can include adding the effect or applique on the surface of an object with the object sandwiched between the applique and a structure imparting material, allowing the applique and the object it is on to move more freely and in unison together. In some embodiments, the structure imparting material is sandwiched between the applique and or the object on one side and a support backing on the opposite side. The three-dimensional applique can be formed by applying force to the object on a side opposite to the applique, such that indentations and protrusions are formed in the layered structure of the object and structure imparting material, providing a three-dimensional applique. Like, look at these images. This could be a lot of different things if you look at these diagrams here. And notice it didn't really specify that this was only for a specific type of application. So, this could be this could be a quilting project. This could be a lot of different things. Imagine if I just put some batting underneath an applique. Would that be included too? I don't know. And I feel like this patent could have very broad application the way it's written. Just from, again, my non-legal opinion here. So here are all the figures here. This could be a lot of things, guys. Yeah. And, yeah, so here's more. If you want to look this up, Sean has kind of given you the information where you could look this up. Again, I don't want to name this person. Although I would kind of like to reach out to them, and again, I want to give them a chance to respond. Here's the thing, I get it. On one hand, I understand. If you spent a lot of money and time and resources to get something patented, I understand that you want to protect that. I guess my question is, how far does that patent protection go, and what exactly does that cover? And does that cover, video content that's not even a physical thing? That just seems very strange to me that a patent for making a physical product would cover digital content. That's where I'm I don't know about that. I don't know if this is bogus or if this is legit. I don't know. I really don't know, guys. So here's the rest of the patent document here. But notice, it doesn't seem to specify that it's this doesn't seem, again, the patent doesn't say anything about digital content. Would we be infringing on her patent by making video, doing a video just showing that being made? I don't know. And it doesn't say, it says, such as those relating to apparel and interior decorating and furnishings, but it doesn't say it's just limited to a specific thing or specific materials. This could be a lot of different things. But I do want to look more into this because I do find this I do find this pretty fascinating. And I'm really, and anything that affects our community like this, I'm curious, this is the sewing report. I do want to do some actual reporting. I don't know if this is a scare tactic on the patent holder's part. I do find it, telling that they did not use an attorney or a law firm to do this. Yeah, I don't know. Guys, I really don't know. But I really appreciate Sean for making the video and for Creative Appliques to putting out that statement. This is super bizarre, though. I need to look more into this, though. And I do need to be very careful because this involves, a legal situation here. Yeah, this is pretty nuts. This is pretty nuts. You know, like, I don't know how a patent would protect making digital content where, you know, I don't know. And if it doesn't, then this person is definitely abusing the YouTube reporting system in terms of service, because again, that's not what it's for. Like, you know, it's not what it's for. Like I mentioned to Sean, this embossed technique is basically trapunto, so how can they trademark? So they have patented it. So it's a utility patent. So it's a bit different than a trademark here. I saw this video too. I don't think anyone has a copyright on an embroidery tech. So that copyright is also different than a patent. So again, I know it's copyright, trademark, and patents are pretty different things. So this patent holder is claiming the process and like the technique to make this. How far that extends, though, I really don't know. I really don't know. I just can't see how the patent office even improved this technique. I really don't. Here's the thing: we would have to get some patent attorneys to weigh. And if there are any patent attorneys out there that want to comment, leave a comment on this video if you're watching on the replay, because I'm really curious to see what your legal analysis is. But this does seem very, very strange to me. Very strange.